have not ever made this recipe. Why would you ruin toffee with saltine crackers? And I thought, you know what? This would make a great toffee. Ritz cracker toffee, pretzel toffee, this is the English butter toffee, pecan, coconut toffee. Oh, look at that. I should have not done quite so much, but I love both. I love pecans and coconuts, so I have to do what I want. I've never tried this before. Got my salted toffee here. Ooh, oh my goodness, you gotta love toffee. This stuff is really good. Chili toffee, chili powder. This is gonna be interesting to see what this tastes like. This is a toffee I've not heard anybody say they make. Oh my goodness, that is delicious. Yum! This is really good. I am making toffee. I have my butter in here. Now, instead of using the brown sugar in my grandma's recipe, I'm using regular sugar, but it's the same amount. This link, of course, is always on our website, livingonadime.com. And we're gonna give this a stir, bring it to a boil, and then we're going to boil it for 7 minutes. Get it all dissolved. All right, as soon as it comes to a boil, you're gonna set your timer for 7 minutes and just let it boil for 7 minutes on medium heat. This recipe is in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 340. This is my grandma's original recipe card. I think this has been in my family for around 70 years. That's a long time. All right, see it's starting to turn brown. I'm gonna turn my heat down so it doesn't burn and lift my pan off because it looks like it's getting just a little too hot. It's not burned yet. Let it cool down just a bit. My heat was on medium. My heat was on 8, so probably a 6, medium, medium, high. The low end of medium high. It just depends on which would be about 6 or 7 for my stove. Oh, that's looking lovely. Now, by using the white granulated sugar instead of the brown sugar like my grandma's recipe, this is the English butter toffee that you're making. So this is the good old-fashioned English butter toffee. And so since mine is wanting to try to burn, I turn the heat off. I'm gonna give it a stir just to keep it from burning. You can tell it's trying to burn when it gets really super dark. I mean, you want it dark, but by doing that, you'll keep it from burning. Now we're going to pour it in our pan. All right, you'll want a hot pad holder underneath your pan so you don't burn your counter. I have a layer of almonds here. Oh my goodness, this looks perfect. Okay, just going to spread it all over. Oops. Okay, so then I'm going to spread my chocolate chips on top. And then I'm gonna put a cookie sheet on top just to keep the heat in. My grandma didn't, but I like it. Put a cookie sheet on top to keep the heat in so that it will melt the chocolate chips, and we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Chocolate's been melting. Oh, yum. Oh my goodness. I love toffee. It's one of my favorite Christmas candies. What I realized is I like all the caramel type candies. I like toffee, peanut brittle, caramels. Ooh, love them all. All right, gonna set this in the fridge or freezer and let it set up and cool down and get hard, and then we will crack it. I think it's gonna pop out. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. Oh, yum. Oops, my chocolate is not quite set right here, so I'm just gonna let it stay in the fridge for just a few more minutes. All right, my toffee has set up, and oh my goodness, yum. Okay, then we're just gonna break it into pieces. And you have English butter toffee. Oh, yum. Store toffee for later. You can make it now and store it for later. I just put it all straight in my zip top bag and store it like that until Christmas. You can freeze it or don't freeze it. It's up to you. I usually don't. I am making 4 ingredient homemade toffee. Now this one is almond. Normally I use walnuts on the bottom, but you're going to take your 8x8 pan, put a layer of nuts. This one's almond. Then we're going to take our pan and we're going to melt our butter on medium heat so it doesn't burn, and add our, ooh, perfect, brown sugar. Make sure it's packed. Brown sugar, always in recipes, make sure your brown sugar is packed. So smash it in there really good. Okay, we're gonna bring this to a boil and then turn it on low and let it boil for 7 minutes. Okay. Getting it all mixed together there. Turn my heat down, my timer. All right, there we go. We're gonna let it boil. Now, one thing, you don't need to stir it. As long as it's on low, it should be fine. But if you think it's starting to burn, so you can smell it starting to burn. If you think it's starting to burn, just take it immediately off the heat and go ahead and pour it in your pan. But so far, we're doing great. All right, got 10 seconds left. This is what it looks like. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. This is my favorite candy. Well, peanut butter brittle is too. Okay, now at high altitude, you may need to go another 30 seconds, but I'm right on the line, so I'm gonna go ahead and pour it. This recipe is in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 1, on page 340 right here. It is on sale right now. The link is in the description below. You'll want your pan on a hot pad because it will burn your counter because it's super hot. Oh my goodness, this is like toffee perfection. I absolutely love toffee. Then just spread it around, just like so. Now be careful, this is super hot. This is one you don't want the kids underfoot when you're making it. They could be on the other side watching mom or grandma, but you don't want them underfoot because it is super, super hot. Okay, now we're gonna let this set up, but we need to put our chocolate chips on top. Now I prefer the mini ones because they melt quicker. You don't have to. You can use whichever flavor you want. You can use milk, dark. I like semi-sweet. Now, I don't think Mom and Grandma did this step, but I put a cookie sheet on top, hello, because I think it helps hold in the heat and melt the chocolate chips. So we're gonna let that sit about 2 or 3 minutes, and then we're gonna spread our chocolate chips. All right, it's been a couple of minutes. Look at how nice that just smooths out, just like so. Okay, we're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator, freezer, or just on the counter, and then we will break it up and I'll show you how to freeze it. Got my toffee here. Now I loosen the edges, and I should have put the parchment paper in, but it's okay. I just go through, I already did it once with the knife, but this is a little bit better. Okay, and then sometimes it'll just pop out, and of course today it won't. Now, I'm at high altitude for some things, and at other things I'm not. So we'll see if I have only made toffee in this house like twice or 3 times, so I don't know if I need to do high altitude or not. Okay. There we go. Oh, yum. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks delicious. Okay, now normally I would just break this, but I can feel that it didn't quite set up. So probably for me at this house, I need to go and do another 30 seconds, but that's okay. It's nice and tasty. We'll just do squares. Oh my goodness, is this like almond roca? Oh, yum! Yes, it is. All right. To freeze this, all you gotta do is put it in your bag, and then just throw it in the freezer until Christmas. Get all sealed up, and there you go. Oh, yum. And this one is saltine or Christmas, saltine coffee, Christmas crack, whatever you want to call it. Now, I have not for the last 30 years ever made this recipe. Why? Because in my mind, why would you ruin beautifully glorious toffee with saltine crackers? But everyone says that I have to try it. Oops, I still got chocolate from my other toffee. So I'm gonna try it and we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith because I know my grandma's toffee recipe is really good. Actually, if I've been making this toffee recipe for 30 years, can it be my recipe now? Okay, got my saltines down here and my toffee is almost cooked, so we'll see. Okay, here we go. I don't know about this, guys. All right, we're gonna spread this all around. And I've got my chocolate chips. Okay, I'm gonna put on my cake or my cookie sheet and let it sit for about 5 minutes. Okay, my chocolate is all nice and melted. All right, gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it set up, and we'll see what everybody is talking about. I don't know, guys, I have my doubts. Okay, we'll see. All right, I have what they call Christmas crack here. Wow. Okay. Well, that looks interesting. Let's give it a cut. I don't know. Do you cut it along the crackers? Is that how you do it? Okay, there you go. Okay, I'm gonna try this smushed one. I have never ever tried this candy before. Don't know why you would want to ruin a beautiful piece of toffee with a saltine, but everybody swears it's the best thing ever, so let's give it a try. Well, you don't really taste the cracker. Okay. Well, I mean, it tastes really good. I just don't taste the cracker. So, I don't know. If you love it, you love it, I guess. All right, to store this, I just take a plastic bag. There we go. Then you can make that up several weeks before Christmas and it will be just fine. I was gifted these Biscoff by a viewer and I thought, you know what? This would make a great toffee. You know how everybody does the Christmas crack? I do not understand why people put saltines and waste perfectly good toffee by ruining it with saltines, although I guess I should make the recipe, but to me, I want my toffee just to be toffee. But this actually sounds like it might be a good recipe to try. So thank you, Laura. So what I'm doing is instead of the saltines, I am using these Biscoff crackers. And let's see. My pan is a little, it's 8 by 8, so how should I do this? Should I break this into little pieces? And I don't know how I should do each corner. There, maybe that'll work. Oops. Okay, so now we're gonna go over and make our toffee portion. So I have my butter in here and my brown sugar, and I am going to bring this to a boil. Okay, now once it starts to boil, don't stir it anymore. And you're going to set your timer for 7 minutes and let it cook for 7 minutes. If you're at high altitude, add another 30 seconds to 1 minute, depending on how high you are. All right, and I'm going to sprinkle a few almonds all over just because I thought that might be kind of tasty. I'm just sort of making this up as I go. Okay, now you have to be really careful because see how mine's starting to burn right there? So what I'm going to do is take it off the heat. And just so that my toffee doesn't burn, I'm going to, see I caught it just in time, I'm going to put it just all over. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look delicious? Oh, yum. Okay, so then I'm gonna spread this into my pan just like so. Now, you can just leave it like this, if you want. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take some chocolate chips and sprinkle it over top. Okay, so then I'm going to take a cookie sheet and put it on here because it holds the heat in to melt my chocolate chips easier. Just leave it for like 5 minutes and then we'll come spread our chocolate. All right, I think my mini chocolate chips, yep, they're all melted. The mini ones just take like 2 or 3 minutes. The big ones take, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. Not too long. You don't have to put the cookie sheet on there, but I do just because it makes it go quicker. Okay, now we're going to let this set up and then we will taste test. Oh, yum. Okay. Oh, did you see how lovely that popped out? Okay. That is so darn tootin' cool, it's not even funny. That looks so cool. Break it into individual cookies. Oops. Okay, gonna give it a taste test. Let's see. Okay, that is really good. Thank you, Laura, for sending these. This one I am making Ritz cracker toffee. They don't fit very well in this. Okay, I'm gonna try it on here and see. Okay, we'll try it like this, I guess. I don't know. Got my hot pad holder underneath there. Okay, I'm not sure about this one. I don't know, guys. All these crackers and toffee just seems a little strange to me. Don't know why you would ruin perfectly good toffee with crackers, but a lot of people do it, so there must be something to it. Okay, so I got my toffee all spread. All right, and my chocolate chips. I'm using the mini ones. Okay. I don't know. We'll see if this works. Okay, I think my chocolate chips are melted. Okay, we're gonna let this set up and see what it tastes like. This will be very interesting indeed. Okay. Okay, there's my Ritz toffee. That just looks too stinking cool. Okay. Now, I'm gonna try the Ritz and see what I think. I wasn't that impressed with the saltines. I couldn't really taste the saltines. But let's see what Ritz tastes like. Okay, here's a small piece with all of it on it. Well, you can't really taste the Ritz, but it's got a nice crunchier kind of texture. I would say this one's a 10 out of 10. I like it. I like it. I was a doubter, but now I believe. Yum. To store this toffee, I just put it in a bag. You can freeze it if you want to, but I don't. Crackers can stay just fine and the candy can stay just fine. So just leave it in a sealed plastic bag and you will be good for Christmas. All right, this next toffee is pretzel toffee. Now, I don't know if I have enough whole pretzels in my bag here to pick out the whole ones, but I'm gonna go through and see what I can find. All right, so what I decided to do is to use my pretzel pieces. Since the toffee's gonna get all broke up anyway, why don't I just use the pieces on the bottom? And then I can save my nice pretzel whole for my bark recipes where I need to see them. Okay, got a nice layer. Just go ahead and finish off all of these just so I don't have to mess with them later. All right, now we're gonna get our toffee. All right, I got my toffee. Ooh, yum, that looks delicious. Oops, there goes my timer. So I took it off 3 seconds before. Oh dear. Are the food police going to come after me? I think the food police will come after me, Dave?
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to spread this around. And I'm going to take my chocolate and sprinkle it on top. And then put my cookie sheet to hold the heat in and let that melt for 5 minutes. All right, ooh, look at that chocolate. Smoothing all over the top. All right, we're gonna throw this in the refrigerator and let it set up, and then we will crack it and see what pretzel toffee tastes like, because I've never had pretzel toffee either. I don't know, guys, adding all these crackers and stuff into toffee is just crazy to me, but everybody seems to like it, so I'm trying it. Okay, we're gonna let that set up and then we'll crack it. Okay, I got my pretzel toffee here. Oh, okay, that is pretty darn tootin' cool. I like that. Let me grab a plate. Okay. You guys love all my toffee recipes, would you please give me a thumbs up? That helps YouTube send my video out so that all the people who are stealing my content, I at least have a fighting chance against them. Thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys always having my back. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna give this a try. I have to say, I really like it with pretzels. That has a really good flavor. It's really unique, but I like it. Oh, yum. This one's a winner. All right, to store this toffee, I just put it in a plastic bag and let it wait till Christmas. And then we'll serve it. If you want to freeze it, you can, but you don't have to. I've only got 4 weeks till Christmas, so this will be plenty of time. I mean, this won't be too much time to keep it just in the bag. Okay, this toffee is going to be white macadamia. Now these are pretty chopped up already, but I think I'm just going to chop them just a little bit finer. Okay, so now I'm going to put them in my pan. Ooh, is that enough? Maybe I need a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Got my macadamia here, and my toffee is wanting to separate again. I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna spread this all around, hopefully. Get it all in. Okay, so I'm going to sprinkle my white chocolate on top, and then we're going to let this melt, and then we will spread it. All right, my chocolate chips, or my white chips are, ooh, all melty. Okay, I'm gonna take and set this in the fridge and let it harden up, and then we will come back and crack it. I would say macadamias are my favorite nut of all the nuts. I would say macadamia, almonds, then pecans, then walnuts, and peanuts. I like them all, actually. I just love to eat all kinds. Okay, there we go. Throw this in the freezer and let it set up. Okay, I got my macadamia turtle, or my macadamia toffee. I'm making too many candies. Oh, that's pretty. Oh my, that's very lovely. I like that. Okay, let's see what it tastes like. Oh my goodness, that is delicious. Oh yum. Okay, this one's mine. And as my son used to say, double. All right, to store this, I'm just going to put it in a plastic bag. If you want to freeze it, you can, but there's no need to freeze it. Just keep it stored in an airtight bag, and you can have it ready for Christmas. This is a toffee I've not heard anybody say they make. I'm just making this one up out of my head. Anybody know what these are? Yep, ginger snaps. I'm going to make a gingerbread toffee. Never heard of that before, so I'm giving it a try. I don't know if it'll work or not, but we'll see. I just thought it would be fun to see if it would work. Okay, so I got my ginger snaps on the bottom here. Okay, so I'm putting in, oops, that's way too much. Okay, so I'm putting in my ginger and just a titch of cinnamon and cloves and nutmeg. Okay, get this all stirred in. Okay, so my toffee's separated this time, but I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try and see what happens here. Okay. Toffee all over the top here. Get it all spread. Okay, and then for gingerbread, instead of chocolate, I'm going to use white chocolate chips, or white chips. Yeah, white chocolate chips, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, we're gonna let that melt. And then we'll come back and spread it. Okay, go ahead. I'm going to see if my white chocolate, woo, looks good. Okay, I'm gonna spread this all over the top. Oops. Now, I have no idea what this is gonna take like. I just made it up in my head as I was making toffee. So we'll see what it tastes like. And there we go. Okay, let this set up and then we'll come back and crack it. I have my, oops, I have my ginger toffee done, gingerbread toffee done. Let's see. Well, there we go. Let's break it up. Okay, so I thought my toffee was separating, but it didn't really. Okay. So, oh my goodness, that is delicious. I didn't understand it with the saltines. This adds such a good flavor. Oh my goodness. Yum. This is really good. Oh man, I wish it wasn't gluten-free. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make me a batch of these with gluten-free, homemade gluten-free ginger snaps. This is really good. Oh, yum. All right, now to store this for Christmas, I just put in a bag. Now, if you want, you can freeze it, but you don't have to. The ginger cookies will stay just fine in a sealed bag. It's only 4 weeks till Christmas, so these will be perfectly fine. Okay, this is going to be a weird combination. This is a chili toffee. Okay, so I'm putting my almonds on the bottom. My pan here. Now this pan isn't stainless, so I don't know if it'll pop out. It might actually, but just to be on the safe side. Okay, so I got my almonds all done there. All right, and then in my toffee, this is crazy. This is crazy. I'm going to add chili powder. I'm not going to put a lot in. It says between a half and one teaspoon. So I did a half. Okay. So I got my chili powder and my vanilla in here. Get this all stirred up. Get my chili powder evenly distributed. Now I've got my pan. This is gonna be interesting. Okay. All right, then I'm gonna spread my toffee all around. Now be careful, guys, because this is really stinking hot. I've got my dark chocolate chips here. And I'm going to sprinkle those all over the top. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my little cookie sheet on and let it sit for 5 minutes. All right, I think, ooh, yes, okay. Dark chocolate is melted. This is gonna be interesting to see what this tastes like. I could see a viewer one time sent us some chili chocolate from somewhere. I don't remember where it was. It was, I don't know, someplace. And England, Netherlands, I don't remember. Belgium maybe, I don't know. And it was really delicious. It was really, really delicious. Okay, we're gonna let this set up and then we'll come back and crack it. Okay, got my toffee here. Ooh. Okay, that looks pretty cool. So I think this is the chili toffee. Yeah, this is the chili toffee. Okay, I don't know why my chocolate separated from the toffee. The toffee must have set up too quick. That's interesting. Okay, well, I think the vanilla made the toffee set up too quick. So let me give this a try. Actually, I would use more chili. I would go on the higher side. I can taste it, but it's not that strong. So what I do is if you like the chili taste, as I would go on the higher side. Okay, now I don't know why my chocolate separated. Does anybody know? I don't know if it's because my toffee set up soon or the dark chocolate is different for some reason. I don't know. Well, still really tasty. Now, to store this, I would just put it in a bag until Christmas. Seal it up, and then you're ready to go. Yum. Okay, for this toffee, I am not putting anything on the bottom. I'm making just plain toffee. Now you can line your pan with parchment if you want. Because my pan is stainless, it will, it should just pop out, I hope. I've never tried this before. Then I got my salted, or my sea salt. I'm going to sprinkle that on top. I'll let this set up in the refrigerator and see what it tastes like. Oh, yum. Got my salted toffee here. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. That is delicious. Oh my goodness, you gotta love toffee. Yum. This is another candy you can make ahead. Just put it in a baggie. And there you go. Except it's lunchtime. I'm gonna have me another piece. This stuff is really good. I was all finished making the toffee recipes and I ran across this one and had to try it. Oh my goodness, this sounds delicious. Now, the original recipe had a layer of graham crackers on the bottom. You can do that if you want. I'm not going to. But it had pecans and coconut. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine how delicious this is gonna be. Okay, so I've got my pecans and my coconut, and then I'm going to grab my toffee and pour it on top. Okay, got my luscious toffee here. I'm going to pour it over the top. Spread this. Now make sure your pan is on a pot holder so you don't burn your counter. Okay, now I am going to smush this in really well to make sure that both my pecans and my coconut all get some in there. Okay, and then I'm going to make it nice and flat because that was a pretty thick layer of both of those. I probably should have not done quite so much, but I love both pecans and coconut, so I have to do what I want. Okay, so then I got my mini chocolate chips. All right, then if you want, you can put cookie sheet over this or whatever. I'm just gonna let it sit because I think the mini ones will just go quick enough with just the heat. Yes, I burned my finger. I accidentally touched the hot toffee. So be careful, guys. Okay, there we go. It's all ready. It has been exactly 2 minutes, so it doesn't take long at all. Okay, we'll let that set up and then we will crack it. Pecan, coconut, toffee. Oh, look at that. Wow, that looks delicious. Okay. Okay, this is a hefty toffee. I maybe put too much pecans, but that's okay. You can never have too many pecans. Okay, well, let's give it a try. Let's see, here's... Ten out of 10. Yum. That's good. You want to store these, make these ahead of time and store them for Christmas. Just put them in a baggie. There you go. You don't have to have them on a plate. I just did it because just to show you how it works.